In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about Sasquatch gifting. So once you started communicating with them, they will follow you home. They'll know where you live. They'll know what you do in your house. And so this is a chair I used to sit on in front of the computer by the front window in our living room. And I had this rubber thing that I used to sit on that's filled with air and it's good for your back and all that kind of stuff. But my husband and my daughter would take this off to sit there. And my husband went down to sit there and took it off, and here's what was underneath. Let me just get this going here. So that is a cottonwood leaf, and there's cottonwood trees not that far away from where we live. We don't usually find them in our yard. Can't remember when this was, what time of year this was, but we certainly don't find them in the house or underneath anything. So anyway, here was this cottonwood leaf. So they're telling me, okay, we've been in your house, and just so that you know, this is what we can do and that sort of thing. And you'll see these yellow marks here. That was some sticky sap sort of like stuff that wasn't there before either. And what ended up happening is when I recalled the morning before, when I was sitting there, the afternoon before, it was the morning, because I just washed my hair and I was sitting there and I put my hand, and of course the purple thing was on there, and I put my hand over the back of my head and I feel this sticky stuff, and I'm thinking, well, I just washed my hair, that's really weird. So I went to the bathroom and there was this yellow sticky stuff. So I just thought, oh, okay. So what I'm thinking here is that there were young ones involved in this, and they just had sticky fingers, just like kids do. And they touched my hair and put this underneath the purple thing in the house. So those are some of the things they can do and like to do. This is a tiny little leaf that was found in a different part of the house underneath this meditation cushion. Don't know where that leaf came from. Never seen one around the house like that at all. So there's that. Then this one's in Palm Springs. So when I first started communicating with them, I was telling them I'm going away for 10 moons. Because I had no idea they could follow me around the way that they can, and popping in and out of different spaces and things like that. So when I get to Palm Springs, I open up the door to the patio, and there are these two feathers blatantly right in front of me on the grass, just barely in front of the cement of the patio pad is just past this. And I thought, okay. And I had a good chuckle because, they're going, hey, we can do whatever we want. We can come here when you're here. We can go. We can do whatever. Anyway, these are mourning dove feathers. Here's a picture of a mourning dove wing, and you can see they're the same. This one was fairly recent. I found this in a tree. You can see it's right at my eye level. I was at a nature park in a city, and it's very big. It's probably a mile square, and it's absolutely beautiful inside. And there was to the right of here is a small lake, a swampy lake. And when I had come into this area, I could smell flowers, and there were no people around. And it was so strong. And this is what a female Sasquatch can do. They can emit this flowery smell, and it's like flowers you've never smelled before. And you know it's not a fake perfumey kind of smell. It's just the most beautiful flowers you've ever smelled. When I smelled that going in, and I thought, oh, somebody really wants to connect today. So I walked around, and I could see Sasquatch structures around and things, so I knew they were there. I walked around the lake, and I came back this way, and you could see the boardwalk just on the side here. And there this was sitting in the tree. And this is brand new, fresh, right over. This grass is right out of the water. You can see a bit of sand on there. This is a brand new, fresh salal leaf. And so they had actually made that for me, which is the first time that's ever happened. And it was really something to have something made for you by these incredible beings. Here's a better picture of what it looked like. So this is later on that day, and you can see it's starting to dry up. This has already started to move over this way because it was straight up in the other picture. So I preserved that in a shadow box. I sprayed it with preservative. Here's the back side. So brand new, fresh. So you can see that it's already in the previous one started to deteriorate a bit. It's turning a bit brown. Anyway, that was quite something. Oops. Not sure why this one's here, but this is my initial, and that was left by some Sasquatch when we were on a vacation. And behind the cabin we were staying in, there was a pathway, and here it was. There's a footprint that goes with it in the footprint section if you get to that. There's another tiny owl. I must have put them in the wrong folder. So here I was cutting roses in the back, and I went in the house to get a camera because there was a really cool mushroom up there I wanted to take a picture of. When I came back, this oak leaf was on the stairs, and I was only in the house for seconds. This was definitely not there when I went in. So these are the sorts of things they do to let you know we're here. Here's another one to let you know we're here sort of thing. Put my purse on the ground to go talk to the neighbors. When I came back, this stick was on top. It was a summer. There was nothing falling from the tree. Another picture, a little bit more clear. This one was interesting. So these are alder leaves, and this is a smoky quartz crystal. So I found these in a piece of luggage that I had never used, and I opened up the pocket and I found these in there. So this is telling me I moved. So these are telling me this is from my old house. So they had put this in here a while ago, probably when I first got the luggage, and I hadn't used it for quite a while. And also this was in that pocket. So I hadn't used the pocket before. That's not true. I mean, I had shoes I put in there one time, but I'd never looked in the pockets of this thing. It was like a soft-sided bag. And then the second time I went to use it, I thought, oh, these are interesting pockets. I had more time. I'm going to look and see what kind of pockets there. So I unzipped them, and there these were. And usually when you get a crystal from Sasquatch, this has been my experience anyway, they're very well used. This tip is a bit broken off. They're scratched, and they're not pristine. And I've gotten a few of these, so that was pretty cool. This was in front of my house. There's an oak tree right to the left where these shadows are. Big oak tree. It was really big, 80 feet tall. And we were having someone come and trim it that day. And I've been standing here before talking to the neighbors. They went away. Went over to talk to the tree guy. We have to go way up to the little park by our house to see the top of the tree because it's so big we can't see it from standing where we are. So I was over talking to him, and when I came back maybe 10 minutes later, this was there, but no one had been by this tree. So they can just pop these things into reality, basically. This was way at the top of a mountain, these two rocks right here. Nobody up there in the summer. It's not open. My brother had an apartment there, and I was there visiting him. And we'd been in the woods connecting with them earlier the day before. So this is looking right out from his apartment. This table had nothing on it the night before. When we got up in the morning, these two rocks were there. So he took one and I took one. I still have mine. My brother has since passed away. This, oops, I'm trying to get this to move. Oh, there we go. No, there we go. Okay, this is a bow. I think they must have made it. If they didn't make it, they found it somewhere. I was camping in the wilderness park, and this was put outside my tent. I'd been there for 2-3 days maybe. Definitely was not there. I mean, it's big. You would have noticed that. And anyway, they had put this outside my tent on the path. So there's that. So as I said before, my brother passed away shortly after the two big rocks that were on the picnic table. And in the park, the Sasquatch had made this little marker for him. The interesting thing was, when you look at this part here, what this is tied together with are rose leaves, rose stems, tiny, the tiny little bunch roses. And if anyone knows gardening, you will recognize those as rose leaves. So this is the kind of thing they do. They're so kind-hearted. It's just an acknowledgement that we know that you've been through this and that your brother's gone, and they knew my brother in this area. So the rose leaves have special significance to me, and I think that's why they did that. So kind, so caring. This is also in front of my house. So there's the L for my name. We asked all the kids around if they'd done this. This is very typical of what they do in an area very close by me. They make these circles out of rocks. And these are grape hyacinth leaves, which are very close to this, and a pine branch and a little leaf. This is a female that I used to connect with very close to my house. And then finally, there's another crystal that I was given, but you can see this is dirty. It's not really pretty. It's beat up. And that's kind of how you know it's from them, because they're well used. And I think these are probably the most interesting things I've gotten, but I mean other things too, like marbles and more different crystals. But so this is what you can come to in your relationship with them, where you're actually having conversations with them through the gifting that's happening and letting you know they're there, or they want you to help them in some way, or yeah. So I hope you enjoyed these.